Hello, fellow alchemists. Welcome back to our ongoing series all about Elixir. And I wanted to talk about phx.gen.auth. So what I just saw today, as I'm recording this on the same day I'm going to release it, is Phoenix 1.6 has their first RC, the release candidate release, RC 0 actually. And one of the interesting things that they brought in is this phx.gen.auth. Originally, I was a little bit torn on whether this is a good idea to have or not. I think after reviewing it, so I took some time to review it and take a look at it, I think it's pretty good to have, and I kind of like the way everything's set up. The only thing I'm not too sure about is there is a lot of code injection. So usually when you use generators in Phoenix, yes, they create some files for you. Yes, there is some kind of like code generation things and things that are being injected. But I would say definitely now it's a lot more injection going on. And it's definitely something that's different, and I'm not quite so used to. But yeah, other than that, I think that the setup and everything, it's really good to take a look at, and it's really nice. And I kind of wanted to show that exactly. So over here, I have just a simple Phoenix app. Server. So if I run this thing, you see I just have a very, very simple Phoenix app, right? And I didn't do anything other than just create the app. I did actually try out the Phoenix Auth before, so hopefully I cleaned up all the stuff. And so if I go back to my code and I take a look at this, and I have to actually kill this, and I need to add in the library. So it would be phx.gen.auth, and it's 0.7. And of course, just do a quick mix steps git. Now, what to note is that, again, with Phoenix 1.6, this is no longer used. In fact, this has been, I forgot what they call it, deprecated or abandoned or something like that. There's no more updates going to this, so you just use this one if you're in a Phoenix 1.5 application. This is a Phoenix 1.5.12 application, so you'll definitely not even need this for 1.6, but if you're going to be using 1.5 and you want to use it now, you can definitely use this. And finally, you can actually see this task. So what you may not see, so if I try to actually run this, you'll see it's not showing up right now. You actually have to do a deps.compile, and after everything's been compiled, then you should see that task come up. So now if I take a look for it, you'll see the phx.gen.auth coming up. There's a few different things you can do to kind of customize it. Not very much. You can see it. The command is very similar to creating a context, but there's a couple of special things, right? So, for instance, if you're using a Mac or Linux, default hashing library will be bcrypt. If you're using Windows, it's going to be pbkdf2. Something to keep in mind. Both of them rely on Come On In, which is fantastic library. Highly recommended, and so do they. But it's also good to know, like, this is going to happen. There's going to be some controllers being injected, which is going to be about, how the user authenticates, how they confirm their account. Because right now they kind of have a way of sending out an email, but the email is actually more like just like plain text into your console. So you just need to edit that. Not a huge deal, but at least you can kind of see what they're doing. Yeah, all this kind of stuff just kind of works. If you do want to have binary IDs and you don't have binary ID as a default option, then then you can of course set that, or you can also say no binary ID in case it's the other way. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to take this part and just drop this in here. And with this, we're just going to get that context all generated. And it looks like some things didn't get cleaned up properly. So yeah. Let me see if I can just override it, and hopefully it won't be an issue. And if I take a look in here, there's our authentication. So you see it doesn't use CI text, which is pretty good. Yeah, passwords are this one. And then of course they separate the user tokens, which is good to have too. So definitely good to have. Of course they have the delete all, so nothing gets orphaned. And yeah, they do have this context over here. So what I've seen is that They have tokens for different things, like confirmation for email, things like that, if I understand correctly. I do want to go deeper into this, but I just want to kind of give an overview about how to actually use it and how things kind of work. Now you'll see there definitely is some code injection. So you see over here, bcrypt got put in, and same with the phx.gen.auth. Oh, sorry, that's what we did before, sorry. But bcrypt got put in over here. So that's, you need to understand that. That's definitely brought in. Other than that, if I run the migration, so this is why code generation can be a little bit tricky. So you definitely have to do the git first, then you can do the migration. Okay, perfect. So after that, and now I run the server. Now you'll see over here, if I switch back over to here, and I refresh the page, you'll see now we have two more options. So, you know, they also injected some things into the layout. So you have register, you have login. So if I register my account, test 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what you're gonna find out is it's not actually 8, it's actually 12 you have to have. So I could say test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should be at least 12. And then we get put inside. After you register, you'll see in here, there's automatically this kind of email thing, but basically it's just the console output. So you can see where you would inject your email or even SMS if you want to do that. Here's your confirmation token already set up. So if you just click on this link over here, because open up another side, it'll just go ahead and confirm the page for you. And now basically my user's confirmed. And so if I refresh this, and also you hit the settings page where you can change your email, fantastic to have. You can change your password, things like that, and you can also log out. So, and if you take a look in the console, you'll start to see what's going on over here when I log out. It goes into my user tokens and actually removes that token. And the token is also found from the context, so I mean, you get more of an idea. And I believe also the token too over here, yeah. When you confirm, you also have that token confirmation thing. So basically this user token is not just for like who the user is like within the cookie, it's also like for changing things, right? So you have that kind of idea of a context, right? Like what kind of token is this? Is this for logging in? Is this for, you know, confirming an email, etc., right? So it's pretty interesting. Again, I want to dig deeper into this, but it's good to have an idea about like pretty much this is really, really cool. I quite like this one a lot. Again, after I dig more into it and see more about how it's kind of useful and how it's used, I think from there I'll definitely be able to figure out like maybe I want to tweak some things. The idea of context is quite interesting to me. I may, you know, use that in my other projects because I'm doing things slightly differently. But other than that, I think it's definitely interesting and useful. So yeah. Again, this is Alan from Plangora. Please subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.